Did you know about a group of college students who narrowly escaped a deadly tourist bus accident? It was supposed to be just another fun weekend, getaway, a scenic drive along the cliffs, laughter echoing in the air. But as fate would have it, the driver's sudden heart attack sent the bus careening toward the abyss. Against all odds, the students managed to scramble free moments before the vehicle plunged into the void. Relief washed over them as they stood at the cliff's edge, staring into the jagged maw of rocks below. Little did they know, their escape had only just begun. The first death came a week later, subtle and surreal. Emily, the group's de facto leader, was found in her dorm room, her body grotesquely contorted. The autopsy offered no clear answers, only whispers of something unseen, something malevolent. The survivors dismissed it as a tragic accident. They clung to denial, but deep down, a gnawing dread had begun to take root. One by one, the survivors fell, each death more bizarre, more horrifying than the last. Peter, the class clown, drowned in his own bathtub, though his body bore the marks of claw-like scratches. Jenna, the aspiring artist, was impaled by a rogue shard of glass from her studio window. Despite it being tightly shut moments earlier, it became impossible to ignore. Something was stalking them, something relentless and cruel. Luke, the group skeptic, took it upon himself to investigate. He pored over news articles, ancient texts, anything that might offer answers. That's when he found it, an obscure reference to an ancient curse tied to the collective of fates, a secretive sect from centuries past. The curse, he discovered, was not bound to objects or places but to bloodlines. The realization sent chills down his spine. This wasn't just about the bus crash. This was legacy of vendetta etched into the veins of their ancestors. The group's unraveling accelerated as they unearthed more. Caroline, the quiet bookworm, stumbled upon a family heirloom hidden in her attic, a tarnished locket bearing the symbol of the collective. Inside was a portrait of a man with hollow eyes, the supposed head collector, who sealed the curse centuries ago. Caroline's hands trembled as she read the inscription. The sins of the past shall harvest the souls of the present. The revelation hit hard. Each of them was a descendant of those who had betrayed the collective, their families intertwined in the ancient betrayal. Death wasn't random, it was orchestrated, personal, a cosmic reckoning. By now, the group had dwindled to three: Luke, Caroline, and Mia, the sharp-tongued real. Together, they sought refuge in an abandoned chapel, a place where they hoped the curse's reach might falter. They performed rituals by candlelight, desperately pleading for mercy, for escape. But death is not so as Ali swayed. It came for Mia first. A chandelier, rusted and unstable, fell with surgical precision, its shards piercing her heart. The sound of her scream echoed through the hollow chapel, silencing the others. Luke and Caroline were paralyzed, their breaths shallow, their hope extinguished. "It's not just death," Caroline whispered, her voice trembling. "It's him, the head collector. He's here." And she was right. As the clock struck midnight, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. His form was ethereal, yet solid, his eyes two pits of endless void. He didn't speak, but his presence spoke volumes. The air grew heavy, suffocating. Caroline fell to her knees, clutching the locket, her voice a frantic chant of apologies and pleas. Luke, driven by desperation, grabbed a nearby iron cross and lunged at the figure. But the head collector merely raised a hand, and Luke froze midair, his body twisting unnaturally before collapsing in a lifeless heap. Caroline's screams filled the chapel as the collector turned his gaze upon her. "Please," she sobbed. "It wasn't us. We didn't betray you." For a moment, the collector paused. Then, in a voice like grinding stone, he whispered, "But you carry their sins." The locket in Caroline's hand burned red hot, searing her palm. Her vision blurred, and the world around her faded. When she awoke, she was alone. The chapel was in ruins, the candles extinguished, the air cold and still. No one ever found Caroline again. The curse lived on, passed quietly to the next generation, a shadow lurking in the blood. And somewhere, the head collector waited, patient and unyielding, ready to harvest once more.